Support me and be on my wall of supporters. Thank you, my nerd. Micro handhelds, you either love them or hate them. A lot of people are really in love with this type of concept, the ultra pocketable handheld that you can take around everywhere. Other people don't have the eyesight for it and they end up squinting like this and they hate their lives and they hate themselves. And well, this is not really about micro handhelds anymore. They should be happier. Micro handhelds, though, they are very specific for a niche within a niche. When it comes to micro handhelds, they can be of high quality or of bad quality. They can be practical or unpractical. And this is kind of the video because the practicality sixth sense that I have is off the charts with this MagicX 028 handheld. Disclaimer, this was sent to me by Ampon themselves. I hope I'm pronouncing the store name right. If you don't know about this store, it's kind of famous, I would say, because it's one of the main handheld stores that also operates on AliExpress. I bought a lot of handhelds from them, even before this channel, for myself, and I don't regret it. Each and every time the experience was a very good one, not to mention that they have actually very good prices, one of the best in this niche. But as always, it's very important for you to know that no money exchanged hands. They didn't see this video beforehand. All thoughts here are my own. Nobody buys me and nobody tries to buy me, unfortunately. I don't know why is that. No, at least some manufacturers should try to like buy me, but I'm happy they don't. I feel a bit unloved, but I'm happy they don't. Anyway, unbiased video, you get the idea. Coming back to it, Mini Zero 28 is well, kind of a contrast. It is a lot of many new things at once. First of all, this is the most pocketable Android, yes, Android handheld that I ever had the pleasure of holding in my hand. We don't have a big screen here. In fact, let's quickly check the specs. We have a 2.8-inch screen, and for whoever knows that size, if it sounds familiar, that's because it's the same display size that we have on the beautiful, now retired Mio Mini. And everybody loved this size. However, when it comes to the 028 Mini 028 MagicX blah 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 handheld, we need to look at it a bit differently. The Mio Mini cannot play anything beyond the D-pad. We have two beautiful, marvelous sticks here, which are also inset just enough that they don't protrude over the D-pad. I think all manufacturers should do this. I hate joysticks that protrude in the pocket and catch the lining of the pocket and they get stuck. This is the best way to add sticks to a handheld. If you do them like this, you appease, in my opinion, all people. People that don't want sticks will have the sticks out of the way, they will barely feel them, and people who do want sticks, well, they will have sticks. However, the main point, the main attraction thing about this particular handheld, which I'm gonna show off some games in a bit, stay tuned, I know I'm talking a lot, is the fact that it has immense customizability because it's Android. Now, in the interface itself, I assume you noticed what this is. This is more or less the G-Show, and it's already pre-configured with RetroArch and various emulators. So when you turn it on, you can just pick up and play this. You can also, even though you don't have access to the Play Store, you can install APKs because it comes with a file explorer, which I think is simply marvelous. There was a file explorer here, I can't see it now. Where the heck was it? There we are, FX file explorer. And with it, you can connect to a cloud, you can connect via FTP, you can put separated APKs on this, and you can install, for example, your favorite custom front end. It would be Beacon in my case, or even ESDE, and go to town with it. You can customize the living heck out of this, just like you would do with any Android handheld. However, most people would like it stock, and we're gonna keep it at stock. Now, the exciting thing about this tiny guy is that the specifications are different than most micro handhelds that we have out there, meaning that it has a more powerful A133P CPU, which gives us a bit more oomph, a bit more wiggle room when it comes to the performance that we might need. And it also has 2 GB of RAM. Now, you probably know, most of these handhelds come with 1 GB of RAM, so this is a very, very welcome improvement. Of course, unfortunately, no 5 GHz Wi-Fi, but at the same time, most handhelds come with no Wi-Fi, so we should thank our lucky stars it even has this. Software Dawn Launcher, okay, it's pretty good. Stereo speakers, a 2900 mAh battery. It doesn't sound like a lot, but you can actually play a lot. Around, I would say, 6 to 7 hours of guaranteed gameplay. That's more than enough for most people. What I personally love about it is, well, it's an Android thing, more or less. Do you see that I only have 41% battery left? Well, that's because I never turned it off since I got this thing, and this was like a week ago or somewhere around there. It simply has the standby of Android that I missed on many of these handhelds. This cannot be understated. This is a big thing. If you play a thing, right? Let me enter a game. Okay, here we are in our beloved Contra. Ignore the screen, by the way. It's playing quite nicely, but let's say, oh no, I have a meeting call, I need to text my wife and do supportive family member things, I need to put the game down. Okay, no problem, it's Android, you just... By the way, I should show you around this device. You just tap it so that it goes into standby, and you go on with your day and you do whatever. And then you come back, let's say, wait a second. I swear, I don't know how they get so messy. This is ridiculous. There we go, much better. Let's say you come back 8 hours later. You're right back where you were, simply because it's mother flipping Android, and Android has exceptional standby. I think this is such an amazing thing. We shouldn't disconsider it, and we shouldn't take this for granted. Standby is a make it or break it thing when it comes to handhelds, at least in my humble opinion. Anyway, very quick tour around the handheld. We have membrane buttons. They feel a bit mushy, but they are okay. The D-pad is serviceable. I love the sticks. Again, I'm in the minority here. I always appreciate when they put sticks, even when they don't have a lot of space to work with. We have the speakers, button firing speakers here, a headphone jack, which is always nice. I'm not a fan at all of the placement of the power button. I always have to override my instinct because I tend to want to search for it at the top or the right side. But alas, if you buy this and if you use it for quite a while, you'll get used to this. On the right side we have a microSD card slot, we have another microSD card slot on the left. This is where you also have your OS. On the back we don't really have a lot of things, just a tiny intake here, which I think might be fake. On the top we have a lot of things. We have the shoulder and trigger buttons, digital of course, and we have two USB-Cs. One is for charging and the other one is for file sharing. So you can conceivably connect a controller to this bad boy and you can live your best life. I had to tone down the brightness because it was blown up by the camera, but yeah, you also have access to the Android settings, which is very nice. There's a home and back button combo here at the bottom. This gets you in and out of applications very easily. Remember, this is Android, so this is a very good addition. We have a light here. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Start and select, and that's about it. And we also have a hole for a lanyard here, in case you're into that. This can be a very complete handheld, but what I love about it is something totally different than this. It's the fact that it also has device-specific optimizations, and this can be seen in God of War. You need to enjoy this moment because God of War actually works somewhat enjoyably. Of course, it has a bit of auto frame skip on, but it's configured in such a way that you can actually play it. This is playable, and it's one of the very few Linux devices that actually can play God of War in a decent manner. Most Linux handhelds have a very bad time with this game. They simply don't have the horsepower to give a decent experience with this one, whereas the MagicX Zero Mini 28, seriously, this is a mouthful of a name. Ampon actually branded it as their own. I don't mind this personally. You just need to know that it's the same product as the MagicX. It's just a bit of a rebrand here, that's all. The fact that God of War works decently here, this shouldn't be understated. This is a huge achievement in my own humble opinion. I've always wanted Linux handhelds to get to the level where God of War is actually playable. Let's just open this door and look. You know, it's genuinely playable. You can't say that it's not. Of course, for PSP, we're running the dedicated PSP emulator, PPSSPP emulator. You can also simply exit out of it very quickly. In terms of games, there's a lot of games here. Look at this bottom bar. You'll see a ton of selections. Overall, my dear nerds, just so I wrap with a bit of a takeaway here, this is a very solid little contender. I would say that in terms of micro handheld, this is one of the best that you can have. Especially the black color variant. I love this. I love matte black, as you probably know by now. This is the way in which black should be done as a colorway with these handhelds. As a bit of a comparison though, let me just put the Mio Mini and the GKD Pixel next to it. It's a bit larger, but hey, we have sticks and it's a horizontal boy, so I guess that's justified. Honestly, I think this MagicX Zero 28 Mini, I don't know why I have such a problem with this name, it's just a mouthful, a million words for a handheld name. I think this is gonna be my new pocket body. The fact that it has sticks and that they don't protrude over the normal buttons means a heck of a lot to me. It means that it will be able to live in the pocket without it feeling uncomfortable, without it snagging. I hate snagging. I can see myself just carrying this. It's small enough that I can take it anywhere. Now, the elephant in the room with such a small handheld is, well, the fact that it's a small handheld with a small screen. You have to kind of figure out how good your eyesight is for this. I can play maybe 20 minutes on this until I feel that my eyes get tired, but there's a lot of people with way better eyesight than mine. My eyesight is one step under the eyesight that I imagine old people playing chess in the park have. Somewhere around there. So you get a point of reference. Now, do I recommend it? I think if this is what you're searching for, and by this I mean something pocketable, something just a bit more performant with a bit more power than the rest of the options that are also very pocketable, then go for it. I don't see why not. The one thing that I thought would bother me a lot is the big bezels. We have the dreaded double bezel, the bezel of the screen and a plastic bezel on top. But the fact that they added this Android button here somehow makes the bezel not seem like a total waste. It became a bit utilitarian, which I personally am totally for. So overall, I think I like it, and it's surprisingly ergonomic. Even though it has a flat back, you would think that it's not ergonomic, but it has curves. You see how curved the sides are, and because of that, I actually enjoy holding this. Hot take, I think this tiny guy is even more ergonomic than the Retroid Pocket 5, but then again, what isn't, you know? So, these were my thoughts on the, I want to do it properly this time, on the MagicX Mini Zero 28, mouthful of a name, and I kind of like it. It is, however, in my opinion, tailored for a very specific group of people. So, if you find yourself seeing this video and being, this is great handheld, then you're probably in that group of nerds, my dear nerd. Now, you can get it from the link in my description. Ampon is a site, a seller that I fully trust. I really, really trust. Again, I've been buying off AliExpress from them even before Vlad Nerd was a thing, and this should speak freaking volumes. Now, when it comes to MagicX, I just want to say that I'm kind of excited for them. They had a bit of controversy at first. This is technically the second version of a very similar handheld, but they seem to be doing a lot of things right, and I want them to try to, well, I don't think any of the people from MagicX are watching this, but in case they do, they need to enter the middle performance segment. They need to enter in the $200 price range or $150 and try to compete with the likes of Amberneck. That's what I personally would love. So yeah, my dear nerds, we'll see how things pan out. Currently, just so we go back in the present, I love this little guy. I shouldn't say I like this little guy a lot. I like this little guy as a friend. He's gonna be a pocket friend, you know, and I'm gonna keep it in my pocket most probably. But this is about it from my end. I love you very much. I hope you know this, and we'll see each other in the next one. Bye, my nerd.